The city of Sihanouk, Chinese called as Westport, has always been controversial. Many people recognize its urban economic value and deny its policing environment, and they wander back and forth between acceptance and rejection, and it can even be said that most people outside of Westport refuse. But many Chinese in the center of public opinion, in Westport, have completely different real feelings. In a video released by the B station Up Master Posen last year, he was trembling from before leaving for Westport, not only hired bodyguards with guns, but also showed the suspected attention and chase by people in Chinatown in the video. The atmosphere rendered in the video is very tense, and people can't help but identify one thing again: Westport is really terrible. Westport is not so much scary as Chinatown. In this prison-style high-rise building, each room may carry the fate of different people, whether they are alive or dead now. No way of knowing. But with the full opening of the Chinatown Park, many people's hanging hearts have finally been put down, leaving only the high-rise buildings of reinforced concrete, which does not seem so terrible. But fear prevailed over the perception of the darkness in Chinatown, and many people still firmly believed that Westport was still terrible. There is a certain rationality for this concept. Westport is located in the center of Cambodian public opinion. Every move has attracted the attention of Cambodia and international countries. The frequent occurrence of negative news aggravated the solidification of Westport's image. Overnight, Westport cannot be whitewashed. According to the third census of Cambodia, there are 310,000 permanent residents in Westport. How do these people who really live in Westport feel about the long-known Westport? Although they will not be whitewashed, they may have the most say in the interpretation of the real Westport. He works as a diving instructor near Koh Rong Island in Westport, and most of the time, he deals with the island's local residents and tourists. In his eyes, Cambodians are simple and kind. As for the negative news in Westport, he believes that if you open a restaurant, open a supermarket, and do tourism Chinese, there is really not much risk, and no one wants to hurt them. All shootings and kidnappings are often due to conflicts of interest, and without entering that circle, there is no such risk. Dong's view of Westport: in his eyes, good people are good people, bad people are bad people. As long as you are not in that circle and don't want to step in, then even if you live in Westport, there is basically no danger. In addition to his spare time, Astro also joined the Cambodian Chinese charity Mutual Aid Association. Talk about why you joined. For charity, but also to tear open everyone's cognitive label of Westport. Because of this, we will be more enthusiastic, more focused, and more willing to give. Under the heavy blow of the ban on gambling and the epidemic, Westport is no longer a gold-panning place for many people. Zhang, president of the Cambodian Chinese Charity and Mutual Aid Association, believes that the impact of the epidemic on the economy is worldwide, not just a place in Westport, and Westport has very rich coastal resources, and tourism will become the focus of development in the future. After 9/16, the security mechanism of Sihanouk City will also be repaired. Mr. Dao, who runs a restaurant in Westport, believes that situations such as robbery and kidnapping are all justified. Normal people feel the edges are all safe. And as the Cambodian government further cracks down on online gambling, Westport will also become safer, which is what he is looking for. Zhang, president of Zhejiang Tongji Hospital, said that he has been engaged in the medical industry since coming to Zhejiang, Cambodia in 19 years. In the past few years, the rescue of people who should be saved, the help of people who should be helped, has not had anything to do with the so-called park. We go out to do our own things, there is no problem. The outside world is a bit exaggerated, in fact, it is not so chaotic. In daily life, the boundaries of life in Westport are clearly demarcated, so many people living in Westport have a hard time feeling the so-called danger. Most of these dangers occur in specific parks or within certain ranges. Otherwise, the lives of people living in Westport are no different from those of other people in Cambodia. People on the outside look at the liveliness, insiders look at the doorway, and the authorities and bystanders will always have different feelings. When I was in the country, my city would have outbreaks from time to time, from the community to the floor, and in case of emergency, I always had to retreat. However, aside from the recognition of epidemic prevention measures, I have no deep feeling about the seriousness of the epidemic in my heart. In the 3 years of the epidemic, many panics have turned into habituation. But parents who are far away from home will always send concern, worry about our lives, and think that once they are touched, they will die. But in fact, we in the midst of it, we feel completely different. Scared. Not afraid. Seriously. Not critical. Will it die? Not going to die. Similarly, the Chinese in Westport have a similar answer. Does living in Westport often feel scared? No. Can you get headshots at any time when you live in Westport? No. Will Westport worry about being kidnapped by cybercasters on the street? No. In Westport, will you worry about being tricked into the online investment park by the people around you? No. Most people outside of Westport feel that, well, very likely, is not it, which is a cognitive difference, but also a difference in feelings. Is Westport scary? It is undeniable that Westport has been at the center of public opinion in Cambodia for many years, and there are many negative images, which has cast a layer of darkness on the entire city. Westport does have a certain horror. Although the area of Westport is not very large, it is home to many Cambodian locals, Chinese and other foreigners, and it is a city with a blend of cultures and a high degree of internationalization and modernization. In May 2022, the Secretary of the Ministry of Finance and Economics of Cambodia, An Sevaso, said that in the future, Westport will be built into an international metropolis, and will become a high-tech smart city, a green demonstration city, an ASEAN industrial and logistics center, a world regional financial and trade center, and a world tourist destination. After 9/16, the reborn Westport will also return to its original background. It will become Cambodia's most dynamic economic town. Westport is certainly dangerous, but a pole can't kill a boat.